And we're back with more echo.
Yay. Anyways.
Oh boy.
Hello.
We're here with
Yeah.
Hannah and DJ,
Yeah.
and Hannah and DJ, and Matt, and Fane, and I.
So, for what, and I want to put this on
Wait.
record. That last scene kind of teared me up.
I'm still tearing up from that. Okay,
Like, I
Alright.
think especially because Hannah voices Jenna, I was like, I give Hannah a hug.
Aw. I'm glad to hear that, DJ. What did you think, DJ?
Well, I didn't like it.
No,
think it was
DJ, I
pretty
heard from
good.
you. I need to hear from DJ.
Well, that's why I changed my
It was
personality.
pretty emotional. So.
Well, no.
I thought-
Hannah, I hear you, but I need to hear from DJ. Do I need to send a message to DJ?
I think you need to send a message to DJ.
I'm so confused.
Sorry, he's in the other
There we
room.
go. I hear
can't
DJ
find him.
finally. DJ,
Hello?
go on, DJ.
What am I supposed to
DJ, what
do?
did you think?
I'm confused. I shared my
Come on,
opinion.
just speak
Can
into
you
the
ask
mic.
for it again?
You got it, DJ.
Here, I'm gonna move the mic close.
Now?
I sent you a message, DJ. Why aren't you talking, DJ?
Hey,
God
I'm
damn.
so stressed.
It's not you, DJ.
I need to
DJ.
hear from DJ. What the fuck, DJ? Why aren't you talking?
DJ, stop playing your stupid card game.
I think DJ is getting frustrated by DJ.
So confused.
You sent a message.
I know. I sent DJ a message and DJ just isn't responding.
Oh.
Do I?
My cell phone? I don't know.
You know what, Hannah, I think you're okay. You can go for it, Hannah.
All right. Well, it was
So, to
very
start-
emotional.
I say, I
I think they're just trolling us, sweetheart.
yeah,
You can say
that's
your
what I'm
line.
like.
No, you guys took so long that I was like, Hannah, DJ, where are you guys? And then we eventually decided on replacing Hannah and DJ. Harry is supposed to be replacement DJ, but he's not fucking talking.
Harry is a bad replacement.
Oh,
I sent
Harrison,
you
you
two
got
messages.
sent messages.
Oops.
Can't believe this, DJ.
Man, I don't know how you two do it. Married life is hard.
Doodle. Zoned out there for a second, boys. My fault.
More than a second, my guy.
You fucking died for like a minute.
Whoops! Send that meme of that one chick hitting herself on the head.
No, the one kid that bangs her head on the desk.
Okay, let's get started then, for real. Whenever you're ready, Duke.
Alright. Go again. What are you two doing?
He calls out to us, having to shout since we're nearly 3 properties down. At Pueblo, I cringe at the idea of someone shouting at this late in the neighborhood. However, most of these houses are long since abandoned. Jen and I exchange a look before making our way closer to respond. The lanky weasel is certainly looking rougher around the edges than I remember, the old man taking slow steps in his overgrown front yard. Of course he's got his gun on him, his paw gingerly clutching it while the other branches a cigarette. Or at least I think it's a cigarette. Who's messing with their mic?
Hannah?
Oh, sorry. I was holding it close.
Oh my god.
Real late for a stroll.
He mumbles.
Duke? Hi, good morning. It's Jenna.
Is that Chase with you?
I hold up my paw and wave. Hi.
It is.
Duke takes a drag from the fat cigarette, and I see some embers fling about as he taps the end. In my mind, I imagine it's one of those little specks of fire catching on the untrimmed grass beneath, setting everything ablaze.
I knew it. What Leo's been saying is true. he was seeing shit as well. Confronted him about it, and he got a wild look in his eyes. Pushed me to the dirt. But here you are, in the flesh, and talking this time.
I give him a befuddled look. What's he talking about?
Well, Leo's going through a bit of a rough time, and that's certainly no excuse for the violence he imposed against you. However, we did see you at Carl's house, and you might have heard that he's gone missing.
What a good time for your arrival then, Jasmine.
It's Jenna now, but that's besides the point.
His bloodshot eyes shift from me to her, and that makes me even more uneasy.
Have you seen Carl since last night?
Duke clicks his tongue, shaking his head more times than he really needs to.
I don't think you're investigating the right mystery here.
Jenna raises an eyebrow. He points a swollen pink finger in my direction, still looking at Jenna.
The real question is, why has your friend here been snooping around our houses here for the past month?
Nope, my controller is down. I'm just going to use keyboard from here out. What? Jenna furrows her brow, the light sigh escaping from between her lips. I don't know what. I feel her hand discreetly reach over and squeeze my side.
Hold on, Chase.
She mutters, refocusing her attention back on the weasel.
Duke. Please focus on me for a moment. Listen to the words I am saying. Have you seen Carl since last night?
Duke hangs his maw open, rolling his jaw around from side to side until there's an audible click as it locks into place.
I don't think you're hearing me.
I heard you, Duke. Please, a yes or no answer, and then we can discuss what you saw with Chase here.
Duke's bloodshot gaze flicks back to me, and there's something expectant about the look in his eyes. Like he's waiting for me to say something revelatory. I have no clue what he's talking about, though, and Jenna doesn't seem to want to give him an inch of leeway to change the topic of conversation. I see his teeth grip past his thin lips. Despite the intensity he's putting off, he looks kind of distracted, like we're only getting about 3/4 of his attention.
Maybe it wasn't quite you, though, was it?
His voice is strained and quiet. The weasel scratches his inner thigh.
I didn't see the Ram boy or his little rich parents.
Okay, thank you. Chase?
Oh, I only got here on Saturday. I wasn't here before then. There's really only one other otter in town, as far as I know, and he weighs probably 150 pounds more than me. So I don't really know who else it could be. Duke just glares in response to that, and I can't help but drift my gaze to the gun he's holding so idly in his grasp. I think he notices, as I see his fingers clench around the base a little tighter.
Okay, thank you, Duke. It's really good to see you again. If you have the time, keep an eye out for him, okay? We can't seem to track him down.
He's right there.
He points to me.
No, I'm referring to Carl.
Carl's not here.
Right. We're going to go look around some more and knock on a few doors once the sun's up. You take care, alright?
Before I can so much as raise my paw in farewell, Jenna's already turned around, about and making her way down the street. Again, I have to hustle to catch up. I love that Jenna's like, nope, I don't have time for your bullshit. I gotta find Carl.
Mm-hmm.
After another half hour or so of searching, we end up heading back to Carl's place. After the whole interview with Duke, she starts ranting a little about meth use and the psychological effects. Admittedly, I was only picking up on bits and pieces of what she was saying. Apparently, the drug stimulates the parts of the brain that create urges for tinkering, which is why yards of meth houses often look like scrap yards after extended use. Poor Duke. Though the guy always kind of skied me out, even back when we were kids. I think he used to have a wife at some point, who I remember being really nice. She used to ride her bike around town all the time, and one day she stopped by to help me set up a root beer float stand. Then one day she just kind of disappeared. Hell, I think I was playing at Leo's house when the cops came to the door and asked if Leo's parents had seen her. Jenna uses her newly acquired spare house key and lets us in. I spent so much time in Carl's house growing up that stepping inside always felt kind of like coming home. Carl's parents were never as friendly as Leo or TJ's, but they were often just straight up absent, which means we got the run of the place. I glance off to the side and notice a divot in the wood paneling next to the door. Carl slammed his head there when we were roughhousing 6 or 7 years ago. It's a wonder we didn't do more damage. Jenna nudges me with her shoulder, and I shift my attention back to her.
Hey, I'm going to put something on in the living room. I've been mainly camped up there on the couch with my laptop while you guys were out earlier, trying to get some studying done. Despite the quiet, it's a little difficult to focus with all this going on.
So you want to watch some TV?
Well, sure. I've got something in mind.
She smiles at me, turning tail to head down the hall. I follow suit, briefly considering raiding the cupboard for snacks, but that kind of feels out of line considering the circumstances. Flynn had turned the air conditioning off last night, so we got the ceiling fan going overhead. It's doing a pretty good job keeping me cool, the blades spinning so fast they almost look still. When I was a kid, I was always afraid of having my fan on the high setting. The thing would start to wobble and click, and I thought at any moment it would spin off its socket and come careening right towards me. This one Carl has looks extremely sturdy, though. It kinda looks like it's made out of some sort of brushed copper with a turquoise painted metal base. It's at this point I realize I'm not doing a good job of focusing on the anime Jenna put on. I glance over to her to see if she noticed my wandering gaze, but I see that her eyes are closed. At first I think she's asleep, though they begin to flutter open after some time. She rolls her head in my direction, catching my gawking. She smiles lightly, stretching her arms out over her head and letting out a long yawn. What? I put on my best innocent face. Just checking to see if you were as riveted by the ongoing development of Mr. Wong's fledgling dim sum business. An amused noise escapes between her lips, her left ear twitching some as she stares at the screen with her half-lidded eyes.
Have the magical demon girls shown up yet?
The magical demon what? I thought this was a nice little, what do they call it, a slice of life thing?
Well, I suppose that's how they get you.
She hums her words, her tone sleepy and warm.
They lull you into something calm, pressure, giving you a chance to really live the setting before they pull the rug out from beneath you.
Ah, like what they do at Echo. Jenna's tone is infectious, and even I start to speak with a sort of rumbling, only half-serious whine. Yeah, do they all have to be like that? I mean, what if I want a quiet, slow burn kind of show? It seems like all of them these days just have fantastical bullshit that comes out of nowhere. On screen, the character of Mr. Wong, a rotund red panda, is cooking a batch of fried rice in a large wok. It's also lovingly animated for something so mundane. You can practically see each individual piece of egg, pepper, and seasoning he sprinkles on top.
Chase, there are plenty of slow burn shows out there. And how would you even know? You told me you don't even keep up with this stuff anymore.
I mean, I occasionally will put on some anime when I'm bored back at Pueblo.
Oh yeah?
Well, I guess hanging out with you has made me kind of interested again. Jenna smiles again, and I see the little tips of her tiny fangs. She shifts in her seat, scooting from her side of the sofa to mine. Her arms wrap around my torso, squeezing me some. Without really thinking, I rest my head against hers and exhale for what seems like ages. I can feel butterflies in my stomach somewhere deep down, the light prickle of goosebumps along my neck. It's so intimate, so beyond the boundaries of closeness that Jenna and I have shared in the past. But it's comfortable, no judgment or pressure. Just two people on the same wavelength, both very tired, stressed out, and kinda slap happy. I watch her chest rise and fall against mine, her fur so much softer than mine. It's like running your paws through goose down. I slide my finger around her shoulder and down her arm, then back up again. Is this just platonic? Like one of those cuddly girl slumber party kind of things? We never did anything like this when we were younger, though. The closest thing I can think of is when we shared an air mattress when we went camping for my 16th birthday. Leo having been out of town at the time, of course.
You're very cute, Chase.
Her words take me by surprise. The compliment's so blatant, and not something I've been told in years. It feels like minutes pass before I feel her weight shift beside me. She looks up at me, and I look back down to her. Next thing I know, her mouth is pressed against mine. My heart skips in my chest, and there's definitely some squeak going on.
Engaged.
What now?
I said they're engaged.
God damn it, Matt, I'm gonna just squeak that too. You know that YouTube doesn't like the sex.
Squeak engaged.
All I will say is squeak has been accomplished. Her muzzle is small.
Colonel.
and
Sorry,
my
sorry,
tongue-
go ahead.
It's okay. And my tongue easily fills its inside once she opens her lips. We continue for some time, the noise from the TV seeming to fade in the background. It's an unimportant mumbling, drowned out by her pounding heartbeats and the whir of the spinning fan above. It isn't until the episode ends and we're left in actual silence that Jenna seems to pause. She pulls back, eyes on my chest and her expression indiscernible in the new darkness.
I am a little concerned about moving forward with... I've seen how these sorts of things destroy friendships, and the one I have with you, I truly value. I'm worried we will look at ourselves in the morning, well, in a couple of hours, and be disappointed with ourselves.
Wait. I stop for a second, frowning. Are you saying you don't want to, at least in part, because you think I'm gonna be bad at it? Jenna doesn't immediately respond. Oh no. I've done it plenty of times.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I love that.
I've
She's
done
like,
it plenty of times.
I love that. She's like, I value you as your friend.
Fucker.
I love her.
She's
like,
like, I've gone through this many times. What the fuck? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I squeaked many
Edwards.
squeaks
No.
before, everybody.
my favorite thing is he's also only like squeaked with a guy. She's never done it with a girl.
Nope.
My voice comes out a little louder than expected, and Jenna pushes her paw to my mouth, pushing me. I pull her away, repeating myself, but this time more quietly. I'm not bad at sex.
Oh my, Chase.
I can feel my cheeks burning at this point. Jenna's increasingly amused expression not helping at all.
Chase. Oh my god.
Jenna's shoulders shake as she titters, clearly tickled by how flustered I'm getting. I'm serious.
I can see that. That's not exactly what I was getting at, but I am well aware you and Leo snuck off every chance you could when you were younger. But as you may possibly know, there are several slight differences in anatomy.
Different.
You cut out after the word anatomy.
No!
If you want, you can do that line again. I think this is a great line.
Okay, alright, I'll try it again.
I'm built different.
Skill issue. Chase skill issue.
But as you may possibly know, there are just several slight differences in anatomy between Leo and I.
I continue to frown at her as hard as I can.
Okay, don't give me that look. Now I actually feel bad.
No.
I grunt quietly. Well, how many guys have you been with? You got to ask me earlier at the diner, so it's only fair, right? After the first year of college, I pretty much lost complete contact with Jenna's social circle. Initially, it was because Carl never really wanted to go out, so we mainly just hung about in our dorm. But by the time Carl dropped out, it was like all of our social links had been severed. I'd look at pictures she posted on her timeline, and I wouldn't recognize anybody she was friends with. It was such a contrast seeing her at all these fancy events, wearing formal dresses and receiving awards. For a while, I thought she just changed, transformed by college life and the intellectual peers she surrounded herself with. But talking to her again this week, I come to realize that's not the case at all. She was always that person. It was just everyone else that brought her down to our level, I guess.
Been with?
She leans back some, perking an eyebrow and putting on a professional visage, though she's still got a mirth-laden look in her eyes.
Are you asking about dating or sex?
Both, I guess?
Oh, about the same then. 6 or 7.
Oh wow,
6.5?
Let's just say 6.
What happened with number 7? She lets out an amused noise, then seems to think for a moment as she strokes her chin.
Oh, it was nothing too serious. Just this guy who worked at the gym I went to. I believe he was a draft horse.
Ooh,
My mouth goes a little dry.
Jenna.
A draft horse?
Mm-hmm.
She smiles lightly.
He was really sweet. And the muscles were nice.
He's a horse after all.
Usually I don't like being picked up, but it was definitely interesting, with him being nearly 7 feet tall.
I stare blankly at her, eyes wide. She continues to smile at me, though the corner of her mouth twitches and she brings her paw up to cover her muzzle.
Chase. I'm messing with you.
Jenna! I scowl.
It's funny.
Wait, is that really your type? I thought you would have been more into, like, twiggy anime boys.
Like you, Chase.
I'll have you know my manga and anime interests do not control my love life. I like people primarily based off their personality.
Oh, I'm fucked then. Jenna chuckles at that. She
At
edges
least
out.
he admits it.
Wait, what was
No.
that thing? Tits, ass, or personality?
I was gonna point out though that so you missed this, Fane, but very early in the route, somebody insults like each member of the group, and when they get to Chase, they go, "And you have the personality of a rock," and that's been something that's like continuously been reminded, and brought back up.
Ow.
But what I wanted to point out here is I feel like Jenna's about to say, "But you're a very shiny rock."
You're a diamond.
She reaches out and
You're
takes
just
my paw,
Carmen.
giving it a firm squeeze before patting my cheek. Though it feels nice, I'm still not sure how to take all of this.
I'm sorry for messing with you.
Her voice is clear and soft, and she punctuates the end of her sentence with a kiss on the tip of my nose.
I'm admittedly a little nervous myself. Crossing new thresholds like this can be a little nerve-wracking. But make no mistake, I do want this.
I let that settle for a moment before reaching up, taking hold of each of her wrists. Wait, are you serious? She nods happily.
If you're okay with it, of course.
Really? You and me? She nods again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, boyfriend and girlfriend? The thought entered my head just before I speak it, and I have just enough time to close my mouth before it's uttered. She looks at me curiously. Just shut up and say yes. Yeah, I'm down with this. Yeah.
No, fade out. No.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The only straight scene and it's a fade out. I am sick and tired of being singled out because of my ideals.
What was that? Wait, why was it like dark and stormy?
It's a fade to black.
Yeah.
Don't
Did
you
you know
know-
how fade to blacks work?
The game got so upset that there was, heterosexuality going on that, they had said no.
It made the sky red, apparently.
Just for a brief moment.
Also,
Anyways,
Siri
speaking of-
time. Jenna's a virgin.
No, she's not.
She didn't, because she said 6 or 7 to mess with him, right? And then she goes,
I do kind of believe, I do kind of agree with you. I do think she is.
she's like,
Yeah,
personality
I
matters
was-
more. And then when Chase says, like, if your answer is like 2 or even 1, you say, oh, this one other guy once, right? But she
It's like
goes
believable.
6. And then she goes, like this one massive horse. Like, dude.
The thing is, I think we can all agree that the horse was definitely the thing she was making fun of, or making a joke of. I don't think she was lying as much about, the 6 or 7. I can see why you think that, though.
I don't know, because then she also says, I'm also scared to I'm also, like, scared to cross this
Yeah,
threshold.
I could see it being
But she's saying
way.
she's scared to cross the threshold because it's a friend.
Yeah, I get that.
The other thing is, the reason why I feel like she's not lying about that is because she did ask Chase for his number. He did tell her, and he even brought it up as, I would like you to tell me since I told you.
It's a trust thing, yeah, but I still think, like, she's asking his number because in her brain he, like, hooked up with a bunch of guys in college after Leo.
When
and,
he
like,
did
that
not.
didn't happen. Yeah, and that didn't happen.
Mhm.
And then she's trying to play it, like, big. Like, that's kind of the way I read that.
Hmm.
I get it.
All right, Matt, you were saying something? Are you ready to go, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, you need to get to bed.
All right, we'll probably be wrapping up soon anyway. So have a good night.
Night.
Alright.
Night.
I'll be going to bed after this, but my heart rate fucking rose a lot. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, for the transition?
Yeah. Is that a normal transition, or is that a...
No.
It's
That was-
par for the course for this game, I
It's
feel.
par for the course overall for the game, but it is not the normal transition that you typically see.
Especially when he's had, like, a happy moment.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
why?
Well, the thing is, whenever Chase goes to sleep, something typically happens with him getting like a dream or something like that. And what's interesting is the last time he went to sleep, the dream that he had was of a weird version of himself staring back at him, relaying the conversation that took place when he initially broke up with Leo.
Right.
And this time, while he's getting together with Jenna like this, there's nothing there. It's just empty space.
Mm.
Which I have a theory that I can talk about with Harry, but I can't say in front of everyone else because I don't think that I want to give you guys that spoiler.
Okay, understood. So it's just more of a because he was asleep. That's why this transition happens.
In this one particular case, it's not always like that.
Okay,
Just for the...
that is a weird one though.
I only
Dude,
caught a glimpse of it
first time
because
I
I was
feel
getting back to my seat
great.
as it was transitioning.
I'm
Well,
just
here, I can
calming down
rewind
from
it.
it.
Okay.
I'm
It's
lowering
Just
I'm
look
lowering
it.
I'm lowering my volume for like 10 seconds, alright?
Okay.
Alright.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, here you go. Alright, here you go, Seb.
I'm just surprised that there wasn't anything more in it.
Well, I'm sending Harry my theory as to why the dream was the way it was. And we can talk about that later.
Okay. Because, like, all there was just red sky, wind, and desert.
That is a theory. That certainly is a
Right.
theory.
Alright, well, is there any last thoughts before we wrap up this episode? Because I think this is a really good spot to stop.
Go, Jenna. We're proud of you.
Alright, I just...
You did it. You've been waiting so many years for this, Jenna. We're proud of you.
Alright, well then,
I'm not
say
proud of this.
goodbye, everyone.
Bye.